still in Porto, Portugal, enjoying all what it has to offer. But this week I will ask you guys to do a little assignment. Look back at your frame of reference, how God had worked in your life before, especially the times when you had all of these fears and doubts and you're wondering whether or not I did the right thing. As I said last week, is that what I would like you guys to do is tackle something that has been making you feel uncomfortable, or you were scared of doing, or you've been putting off since when. And in this week video, it's a piggybacking on that assignment, in the sense that if you still have these doubts and fear, sit down and look at the way that God had worked in your life. Because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, women of my age, over 50 heading to 60, you had experiences where God had worked. And sometimes we might not even be knowledgeable of it because we're thinking that it's because of my job and who I know and all of these other stuff. This is responsible for the way that things work out in our lives. So in this week video, I'm asking you to stop, get a pen and paper, look back at a certain time in your life, when you're in your 30s or your 40s, or when you started a new job, or when you were thinking about getting your home, or when you went back to school. When was your last year of school? To reach to that point of graduation, all the ways that things might have popped up and it was smoothed out. And when you look, it's God's fingers and his hands and everything is all over it. So let's go. Hi, I'm Paula Simon, a believer who 25 plus years ago made a decision that changed my life, strengthened my faith, which led to a close walk with God. On this channel, I encourage women to be more proactive in their lives and embrace changes one step at a time. If you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber or visitor, welcome also. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification button so YouTube will let you know when a new video is uploaded. Also, guys, please share. It will be greatly appreciated. As I said, I'm still in Porto. And I did some moving around for last week. And especially Friday, I went to Boom Jesus the Month. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Well, Good Jesus of the Mount. There's the English version of it. As I stand there in this garden, and I'm telling you guys, there's a whole lot of garden. And it's on different levels and different churches. The first pilgrim church was started in 1629. The last church started building in 1784. And when you look back at the time that every different bishop or monarch came and they build and they build on it, they said it was built in honor of the good Jesus. But as I look at this structure, I start thinking, somewhere along the line, they had to, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, they had to have some fears and doubts, because when the only perfect person was on earth, this Jesus Christ, in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he asked God to take away the bitter cup, but then he said, let thy will be done. He had a human moment, but he knew the work he had to do, that he was sent on earth for a certain time to carry out a mission. So he didn't want to be out of his Father's will. So although it was hard for him, he still said, let thy will be done. He's willing to go through whatever pain to carry out God's work on earth. So if he had doubts and fear, we're sinners. None of us is perfect. None of us is like God. So I could imagine along the way, they had doubts and fears. Who knows? Maybe had run into problems with materials, run out of money, because this thing is huge. The intricacy of the design and all these monuments, everything, that must have been so much of euros. So along the way, they had to have doubts and fear. But there was a perseverance that they decided they had to go through. And that is what happened. We might not be building a big church that centuries afterwards, persons will come and walk around in awe and take out 4 million pictures of it. But we have things that will be happening in our lives on an everyday basis. And as you walk, you have experiences. Whether or not you're aware of it, they are there because God needs us to experience it. and then we'll look back to see how he got us over. So this week, I would like you guys to do. If you look at my earlier videos when I started the channel, I talk about preparing your frame of reference. If you want to have a bold walk with God, that is your backup plan. You have to have your frame of reference because you have to go back and remember the way God worked personally in your life. We have the frame of reference of the Bible that he worked in the biblical days. And we could simply, or we could easily say, oh, that was that time. But God is working in this time and he's working in our lives. So we have the Bible and we have our own frame of reference where God works in our lives. So this week, this is what I would like you guys to do. If you haven't prepared your frame of reference yet, start it. It is simple. What was the problem? How did I get over it? What was the problem? How did I get over it? And after a while of writing it down, it will stick in your brains. It will stick in your head that you could repeat the story like if it happened yesterday. Because you would remember it. Because you write it down. And while writing it down, you will realize how much God had worked in your life before. So whatever you're experiencing now, whatever doubts or fear, you know he's telling you to do X, Y, and Z. And you're having a problem doing it. Because you don't think you could. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough knowledge. Where am I going? I don't know where this place is. Oh, the big one, is it safe? Which I always find funny, especially for us that live in the United States of America. I find it very funny. Anyway, is it safe? But they have good medical treatments, or was I able to get my medication? All those things that when God tell you to do one thing and then as human beings it pop it in our head. I can't do this because of that. I can't do that because of that. Get to your frame of reference. You start and you start writing it down and you start look. Okay, he came through when it's this big thing. You mean he can't supply this thing? He kept my home from foreclosure. So won't he help me to raise a $9,000 or $10,000 because I want to take a 3 months break? If God did it before, he's still in the work of answering prayers. He's still in the work of answering prayers. We just have to believe and he knows our hearts. Guys, as I said, I'm enjoying Porto. And as I look back, I made decisions that were scary. I didn't know it was scary then. Now I look back, I realize it was. But I just know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, in my heart, I had to make these decisions. And guys, at that time, my faith was not even as strong as it is now. Because when I left Guyana and decided to come to America, and I'll tell people the only way I end up in America because my brother was here and I know a few people here. If he was in Egypt, I would have been in Egypt. But I knew I had to make that change. And it was crazy because I was in a great job, certain about promotions. When I go back to Guyana and I reach, you could say persons that we were at the same level. Those girls had advanced. One has even retired. There was guaranteed pension, a national insurance scheme. There was guaranteed 2 sets of money when you retire. All of that, it did not matter. And guys, for you it might be different. I move and money is never, I know I need money. I'm not dumb. I need money. But it never is a factor in me making a decision. The thing is, it is when I get this gut feeling. It might sound crazy, or I know I have to do it. And that's why at times I don't share it because it is crazy. But when I look back at all those crazy moves, then thinking how you're going to get money, how this is going to happen, how is that going to happen, I glad I listened to my gut. Because of all those changes I have made in my life, I am sitting here speaking to you in Porto, Portugal, experiencing something different. Why? Because of all of the crazy moves I made. All of it. I just step out in faith. And I know, and as I step out and God came through for me, my faith gets stronger. So at this point, I know he has my back. And if I'm going wrong, he will check me and bring me in because he knows my heart. And I seek his guidance on a daily basis. I ask for him to reveal stuff to me on a daily basis. There's another thing. We have to ask God. We just assume he's going to tell us. No, he's not. We have to ask him. We have to have an inquiring mind. We have to have a mind and a spirit of eager to follow our Father's will. And when we have it, he will reveal it to it because he knows that is what we're thirsting for. We can't just sit down and we sit upon it. Oh God, and bring it through for me. You ain't even asking him. No. We have to constantly ask him. He is not tired. We might have a parent or even a spouse or a child or a friend. You always want something. You never satisfied. Nope. We Father don't say that. No, he don't. So just ask him and he will reveal all that you need to do what he wants you to do on earth. We still need God to help us to follow him. We can't do it alone. As I always say, we're clueless. Really and truly, we're helpless without him. With him, we're all powerful. We're all boss lady and all these other stuff we will give, accolades we'll give ourselves. The only way we all of that is because of God. Without him, we're clueless and helpless. So guys, another assignment for this week. Look at your frame of reference. When you see how God had worked in your life before, you realize whatever he's asking you to do now is a piece of cake. Because, another thing, whatever he's asking you to do now, he had given you enough in the past in preparation. And if you closely look back, he had already given you hints about it. As a child, I did love reading. And I did not like those Hansel and Gretel and all those fairy tale books. It never makes sense to me. I go for all the books that will talk about real stuff and travel. Since as a child, I was interested in Australia and Savannah, Georgia and Manhattan and England, all over the world because those are the books I read. And then life happened, you forget. And here am I, traveling and experiencing it. And I'm telling you, whatever God is telling you to do now, he had already given you the note or the hint. But when you go back to your frame of reference and you start looking back at your life, you realize, oh my, I had the same dream when I was 18. I had forgotten everything about it. And then God will say, yes, it's now I'm asking you. I planted that seed at age 18. I'm asking you now to walk out that seed in your life now. 58, 57, 65, 72, 80. If you are breathing and you're here on earth, God has a plan for you. So get with the program, guys. He has so much to offer us. And it is just the beginning. So guys, have a fantastic week. As I said, they might be posting of pictures. I don't know. I'm really truly thinking about waiting until the end of my travel and then put out a series of videos on everything that I observe, all what I ate. I think I'm going to do that. I haven't decided yet. I'm just the first week in. I have about 8 or 9 more, but 7 or 8 more weeks to go. So sometime you guys will realize what I finally decide to do. Okay, so have a blessed day and have a fantastic week. Make a change. Look at your frame of reference. So we'll talk about it. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. And also guys, when I place this video on Facebook, please click on the link so it will take you over to YouTube. So YouTube will say, oh, I think people like what she's doing. Don't leave all the comments in the Facebook. Go over to YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe.